Welcome to another episode of Ship a War.
Shipper War. When ship happens, I'm there.
So the first movie news is coming out of Pride and Prejudice and Zombies. So supposedly Natalie Portman has dropped out of the role of Elizabeth, and now rumor has it that Anne Hathaway is going to play the lead role. And my issue with this is that Anne Hathaway has already played Jane Austen in the film Becoming Jane, and now she's going to play one of her characters, one of her most popular character, which is Elizabeth Bennet in Pride and Prejudice. I don't know how I feel about this. It just feels like a really overkill if they do cast her. And not only that, but there's always rumors going around that Anne Hathaway's love interest in Becoming Jane is also going to be playing Mr. Darcy in Pride and Prejudice and Zombies. And the other movie news, supposedly there's going to be a sequel to Shakespeare in Love, the Gwyneth Paltrow and the Ben Affleck film back in the 90s, which I could never sit through. Well, now supposedly they're going to make a sequel of this film, which I'm not exactly sure how they're going to do it, because I don't know, there wasn't really much of a spin-off ending. And the trailers that came out this week, the first one is the Robert Pattinson and Reese Witherspoon film Waters for Elephants. The second one is Take Me Home Tonight, which is a 80s based film about this guy who's in his like 20s or 30s, I don't know, and he's trying to still figure out life, and he falls in love with this girl that he meets at like a video store. I don't know. And the third trailer is out of an indie film, and it's called The Karaoke Man, a guy who does karaoke, and he kind of falls in love with this girl who works at a bar, and he wants to impress her, so he becomes like this superhero karaoke guy. And the Shipperness movie that came out this week, there's only one, and that's How Do You Know, which is a Jack Nicholson, Reese Witherspoon, Paul Rudd, and Owen Wilson film. Yes, 4 great actors all in one film. So if you haven't checked it out, I suggest you check it out, because I haven't checked it out, so I suggest you check it out for me. So the first TV news is coming out of X-Files. Dave Duchovny and Gillian Anderson were interviewed actually together, and they were asked about question about X-Files and whether or not they would like to do the film again. And both of them said that they would love to do a third film if it's possible. And they also spoke about how supposedly they're doing a X-Files films, but it's not going to be with them. What? How can they make an X-Files film without Mulder and Scully, like the two centerpieces of the X-Files series? It just doesn't make any sense, and if that's happening, sorry, I'm not going to be all over it. And the last TV news is a bunch of spoilers coming out of different TV series. The first spoiler is coming out of Gossip Girl, and it's on whether or not Dan and Serena are finally going to get back together on Gossip Girl, because they've been teasing about it, whether they're going to get back together or not. And supposedly there's a possibility that they will get together. And the other spoilers that are coming out of the TV series is from Smallville, and the spoiler is whether or not Lana Lang is going to be coming back on Smallville to spice up the Clark and Lois engagement, because they got engaged last week or a few weeks ago. I don't remember what episode it was in because I didn't watch it, but they got engaged, and fans want to know whether or not Lana Lang is going to come back into Clark's life and just, you know, turn things upside down between Clark and Lois, because we all know how Clark's relationship with Lana was, or Lana was always above everybody else. So the answer to that is click on the link in the description to find out whether or not she's coming back. And there's other spoilers from other TV shows, so if you're interested in finding out all the juicy romantic spoilers coming out of TV shows, I suggest you check out the link in the description, where you can find out all the different spoilers that are going on these different TV shows. So that is all for this episode of Ship War. Goodbye, and until next time.